Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly draw everyone in, while others, without even trying, make the air feel heavier just by existing? Here's the kicker. It's not about looks, it's not about charm, it's not even about confidence, it's about energy, awareness, and seduction, or the lack of it. And while you're out here trying to connect, trying to be liked, trying to be seen, you might be doing the very things that quietly, invisibly push people away. Not because you're a bad person, but because no one told you these are anti-seductive behaviors. Let's expose them, one by one. And be warned, you might see a few in yourself. That's not failure. That's a mirror. Number 1, over-explaining everything. You think it's helpful. You think it shows intelligence. But guess what? Explaining every detail, every emotion, every thought, every plan, it kills mystery. It kills rhythm. And worst of all, it drains the room. There's a reason seductive people leave gaps in the story. They know your imagination fills in more than facts ever could. But if that one hurt a little, this next trait hits even harder, because it wears a mask called confidence. Number 2, bragging in disguise. You don't say you're amazing, you just accidentally mention your accomplishments in every story. Or you casually drop names, status, money, or the 7 projects you're juggling. Here's the truth. People can smell insecurity dressed as confidence. And when you keep telling the world who you are, it quietly tells them you don't believe it yet. Now that we've called out the humble brag, let's talk about a behavior that feels righteous, but pushes people away faster than arrogance. Number 3, preaching and moralizing. You're always correcting people. You see life as black and white, right and wrong, and you feel the need to remind everyone where they fall. But seduction isn't about rules. It's about feeling. And nobody feels good being judged, even subtly. People don't connect with sermons, they connect with stories. And speaking of connection, this next trait kills it before it even begins. Number 4, talking too much and listening too little. Seduction is a dance, not a monologue. But anti-seductive people don't pause. They don't ask, they don't receive. They fill every silence with noise. And silence, my friend, is where tension lives, where curiosity breathes, where connection grows. The more you talk, the more predictable you become. And predictability is seduction's slow death. But sometimes, it's not the noise that pushes people away, it's the lack of awareness behind it. Number 5, lack of self-awareness. You ever meet someone who walks into the room and has no idea how they're being perceived? They talk over people, dress out of sync with the room, overshare, overstep. And the worst part, they think they're being real. But being real isn't an excuse to be socially blind. Seduction requires calibration, and calibration comes from self-awareness. And when there's no awareness, guess what comes next? Discomfort, which leads us to trait number 6. Number 6, vulgarity without restraint. Now, this isn't about being proper, it's about being in tune. Anti-seductive people often lean into shock value, thinking it's bold. But being crude, verbally or visually, when the moment calls for subtlety, it doesn't feel edgy. It feels desperate. Restraint is power. Leaving some things unsaid or unseen makes people want more. Push too hard and they'll push away. And finally, the most invisible anti-seductive trait of all, the one you won't even know you're doing until it's already cost you someone. Being too familiar too soon. You overshare, you get too close too fast. You reveal your whole personality like you're laying out a buffet on day 1. And at first, it feels like connection. But then, something shifts, the other person backs off, and you're left wondering what happened. Here's what happened. You gave them everything before they earned anything. Familiarity breeds comfort, but too much of it too fast, it kills attraction. Seduction needs space, distance, a little air, a little mystery. We started with a simple idea. Some people pull you in without trying, others push you away without knowing. Now you know why. These 7 behaviors don't seem dangerous, they seem ordinary. But ordinary is exactly what makes them so deadly. Because they fly under the radar until your relationships, your influence, your magnetism slowly fade.